we are going to be doing the Japanese Grand Prix results for qualifying, starting grid, the results of the race, and the current standings for the Drivers' Championship and Constructors' Championship. I've already gone ahead and filled out free practice 1, free practice 2, and free practice 3. We did this for China and it just became a little too long with every single name and time. So I thought, in the sake of time, we will spend a little bit more time discussing the race and what really mattered, which is qualifying Q1, Q2, and Q3, as well as the results of the race and the points. Now this is my cheat sheet, so if you want to screenshot the practice, you have that there. Otherwise, we're gonna do this together on my iPad because I really enjoy the sounds of the iPad. Now, something you should know is that I don't have the newest iPad. I believe it's the 2020 version. I got it during the pandemic. But it works perfectly for everything that I needed to do. And I also have the Apple Pencil, which I don't know I don't know how I would function with an iPad without the Apple Pencil. So, it also has a tip on it that I added, so it's like a ballpoint pen. I got that on Amazon, and it just helps with the neatness of my writing. It feels more like an actual pencil or pen. I will say that I do have a screen protector on my iPad that is, it's a paper like product. It's not the actual brand paper like. It's a duplicate or a dupe of that I found on Amazon as well. But it really gives me the best satisfying sounds and the satisfying, what is the word? The satisfaction of writing and feeling like it's real paper. So, let's start with qualifying. So first we have qualifying Q1. I think I'm going to, let's do all of the, should we do all of the times first and then the names? Let's do that for this one. So the first time that we have, and this is Good Notes, by the way. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but it's an app, and it basically allows you to write on any PDF document, which I find very, very useful. So, first time, 1:27. I'm going to do it like this. I'm super like OCD when it comes to writing. Let me see if I can adjust the mic. I want to be like close to this, but I also want y'all to see. So 127, 687, 127, 843. I'm gonna start doing the way they do it, where they put just a period on that, so it's easier to read. I gotta get in the habit though. 127. See, I'm just so used to it. 127 point. 845. 127 point 920. 127 point 943. 127 point 967. 127 point 968. 128. Oops. Point. Oops. 128 point 186. 128 point 209. 128 point 218. 128 point 228. 128 point 278. 128 point 337. 128 point 554. 128 point 570. 128 point 622. 128 point 696. 128 point 877. Oops, I missed one. 2257554. I guess we'll figure it out. 129 point 271 was the last time. And then there's 186 622 570 554 337. These are all right here. 337 728 or 278, sorry. 228 218 209 186 60 967 943 920 943 920. Oh, I missed this one. So this time is 127.9. So that is the times of qualifying one. So in first place we had Oscar Piastri. In second place we had George Russell. Third place we had Lando Norris. Fourth place we had Charles Leclerc. Fifth place we had Lewis Hamilton. Sixth place we had Max Verstappen. Seventh we had Yuki Tsunoda. Eighth we had our rookie Kimi Antonelli. And then followed by Pierre Gasly. In 10th place we had Carlos Sainz. And I guess I shouldn't say in 10th place, but the 10th best time in qualifying one. In 11th was Alex Albon. And then Oliver Behrman. Followed by Isaac Achar. And then 14th we had Fernando Alonso. Followed by Liam Lawson. And then the bottom five, as you see here, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, and 20th are eliminated from qualifying. So this is the starting position on the grid that they'll start in. So the first one that didn't make it was Nico Hülkenberg. Followed by, oops, I spelled that wrong. Hülkenberg. And then Gabriel Bortoleto. And then Esteban Ocon. And Jack Dewitt. Followed by Lance Stroll. Okay, so there are your qualifying Q1 times. Moving on to Q2, I'm just going to write the driver's last name and then their time. So let's start from the bottom. So first eliminated, or I guess last to be eliminated, was Yuki Tsunoda. And I lied, I'm going to write the full name. Just outbeaten by Liam Lawson, which is ironic. Fernando Alonso. And then 12th was Carlos Sainz. And 11th, just missing out on Q3, was Pierre Gasly. And then in 10th place, that just made it, was Alex Albon for Williams. And then it was Isaac Achar. And then we had Ollie Behrman. just beaten out by Kimi Antonelli. 3 rookies in a row. Just led by Lewis Hamilton. Who was led by Charles Leclerc. In 4th, we had Oscar Piastri. And then our top 3, Max Verstappen, George Russell, and Lando Norris. So let's put their times in. So Lando had 127, 146. 127, 146. Next was 127, 460. So 460, I can't read it. Or no, it's 400 even. Just read that. 127, 4 even. And then 127, 502. And then 127. Is my Apple Pencil working? It's weird. 127. 507. 127. 555. 127. 610. 127. 639. 127. 7. Why is it doing this? Oh, I think it's the like. I don't know. 127, 711. 127, 775. 127, 783. 127, 822. 127, 836. 127, 897. 127, 906. And then in last we had 128.00. So as you can see, these times are all within a second of each other. Like that's wild. A lot of them are within, tens and hundreds of each other. All right, let's move on to Q3. So in that group, Pierre Gasly, Carlos Sainz, Fernando Alonso, Liam Lawson, and Yuki Tsunoda all did not make it. Let's do times first. So in in qualifying in P10 with a time of 1:27.867. In ninth, we had 1:27.615. And then we had 1:27.997. In ninth, we had Alex Albon. Eighth was Lewis Hamilton. And then we had P7, Isaac Ajar, who is a rookie. And Lewis is a 7-time world champion. And then another rookie, Kimi Antonelli, was P6. P5 was George Russell. P4, Charles with Ferrari. P3, Oscar Piastri. Second disappointment for a lot, Lando Norris. And pole position was Max Verstappen. So there's your top 10 and their times. So here's all of the free practice, P1, P2, P3, and qualifying. If I can zoom in, Q1, Q2, and Q3. I wrote as a note that the main character of qualifying was the grass. There were 3 different fires within free practice and qualifying that caused a red flag. And so that's something that you don't necessarily see all the time. So I made that the main character of qualifying and practice. Okay, let's set the grid. And the grid is just based off of the times. So you can find the grid if you're doing this along with me. You're just going to go down in order. So this is the first 10, and then the 11 through 15, and then 16 through 20. So we'll start with Max, and I'm just going to use their abbreviations, which is the first 3 letters of their name, or their last name, I should say. So in P1 we had in pole position Verstappen. P2 was Norris. P3 was Piastri. P4 was Leclerc. And then Russell in P5. And then we had Antonelli in 6th. And then 7th was Ajar. Or Ajar, I don't know the correct way of saying that. 8th was Hamilton. 9, Albon. 10, Behrman. 11 was Gasly. And 12 was Sainz. 13 was Alonso. 14 was Lawson. 15 was Sonoda. 16 was Hulkenberg. 17 was Bortoleto. 18th was Ocon. 19 was Duvall. And 20th was Stroll. Some fun features about this race were the first Grand Prix was in 1987. This is the Suzuka International said, the first Grand Prix was in 1987. The race is a total of 57 laps with a circuit length of 5.807 kilometers. The race distance is 307.471 kilometers. And the lap record currently until this race was Lewis Hamilton in 2019 with a time of 1:30.983, just to be beaten now by Kimi Antonelli this race in 2025 with a time of 1:30.965. So down here we have fastest lap. We'll write Kimi. Oh, that's too large. That's what she said, or he said. Kimi Antonelli with a time of 1:30.965. Now, we were just looking at these times over here, and you would say, okay, these are way faster. There's 127, 127. This is the fastest lap in the race. So with traffic and cars and whatever extra, factors, qualifying is just you on the track. So, I mean, there's other cars, but they'll move out of the way for the most part. So this one is actually really special because Kimi Antonelli is now the youngest F1 driver to hold that record at the age of 18. While we're here, we'll finish this section. So fastest pit stop was Ferrari. With a time of 2 seconds and 18 tenths or whatever that is, hundredths, 2.18. The driver of the day was Yuki Tsunoda, who was traded for Liam Lawson from the Visa Cash App Racing Bulls to the promoted senior team of Red Bull. We'll fill the note out after we do the drivers and their points. So in 20th position, we had Lance. I always forget to change the thickness. Lance Stroll. In 19th, we had Gabriel Bortoleto. We had Esteban Ocon. 17th, we had Liam Lawson. 16th, we had Nico Hulkenberg. My Danny Ricciardo impression. Did I spell that right on the other one? Hulkenberg. I'll have to look that up. I think it's ER. I'll look it up. Jack doing. In 14th position, we had Carlos Sainz. 13th, we had Pierre Gasly. 12th, we had Yuki. 11th, we had Fernando Alonso. 10, we had Ollie Behrman. P9, we had Alex Albon. Just let ASMcaR. P7, we had Lewis Hamilton. I don't like that L. Lewis Hamilton. P6, we had Kimi Antonelli. P5 was George Russell. P4 was Charles Leclerc. And then our top three drivers in P3, we had Oscar Piastri. Led by Lando Norris. Just to be outbeaten once again by Max Verstappen. Scoring a total of 25 points for himself and Red Bull, followed by Lando with 18, Piastri 15, Leclerc 12, George with 10, and Tonelli with 8. Good weekend for Mercedes. Lewis Hamilton scored 6 points, Isaac with 4, Alex with 2, and Ollie with 1. Fernando with the remaining. I'm gonna redo that. Fernando with the remaining drivers scored 0 points. We already went over the fastest lap, the fastest pit stop, and the driver of the day, but my note was Oscar versus Lando, and to watch out that, you know, the bio rules and team orders are coming. Yeah. It's going to be real interesting. The weather. Let's talk about the weather real quick. So the current temperature was 14 degrees Celsius. Obviously, it's not the current temperature now, but when the race was happening, it was 14 degrees Celsius, which is 57 degrees Fahrenheit. Why can't I write? The track temp was 20 degrees Celsius, which is 69 degrees Fahrenheit. The humidity was 77%, and the wind was 8.2 kilometers per hour. There was one DRS zone, and that was the starting and finishing straight. So there was really not a lot of opportunity to overtake. To be honest, the race was really, I think, quite boring. But that's just my opinion. Let's update our standings. Okay, so leading the drivers still, we have Lando Norris. Closely followed by Max Verstappen. I don't like how spread out that is. This is the great thing about Good Notes, is that you can without having to rewrite the whole thing. You can just move that over if you wanted to, which I did. Third place, we have Oscar Piastri. Zoom this out a little bit. And fourth, we have George. Fifth, we have Kimmy. Sixth, we have Charles. Seventh, we have Alex. Eighth, we have Lewis. Ninth, we have Esteban. And then we have Lance, top 10. 11th, we have Nico. How did I spell it here? I think it's ER. And then 12th, we have Ollie. 13th, we have Isaac Ajar. 14th, we have Yuki Tsunoda. 15th, we have Carlos Sainz. 16th, we have Pierre Gasly. 'Followed by Fernando Alonso. And then Liam. Followed by Jack. Followed by Gabriel Bortoleto. Now, let's add up the points. So Lando is leading with 62 points, followed by Max with 61, followed by Oscar with 49, and then George has 45. Kimmy has 30. Charles has 20. Alex has 18. Lewis has 15. And then Esteban has 10. Lance has 10. Nico Hülkenberg has 6. Ollie Behrman has 5. Hajar has 4. Yuki has 3. Carlos has 1. And Gasly has 0, along with the others, Fernando, Liam, Jack, and Gabriel Bortoleto. So that's your standing for the Drivers' Championship so far. This race is going to, honestly, these three are it's gonna be interesting to watch. Okay, finally, let's move on to our last section, which is the constructor standings. So in 10th place, we have Alpine with 0 points. In 9th place, we have Kicksalver with 0 points. Racing Bulls, I'm gonna write V-Carb, Visa, Cash App, Racing Bulls, 6 points. Aston Martin with 7 points. 6th place is Haas with 15 points. Ferrari. Has 19 points. And Red Bull has 35 points. Mercedes has 61. And in first place still is McLaren with 111 points. So that's where we are standing. I did write a special note that to watch Max Lando as their only 1 point difference, 62 to 61 points. And then also I wrote down that Alpine getting sloppy with my writing as I get tired. Alpine still has 0 points this season. Which is, I would say, kind of unusual. So there we have it, our drivers and our constructors, along with our 2025 results of the Suzuka Japanese Grand Prix. I hope you enjoyed this video. I plan on doing a review like this. It might not be exactly the same every single time, but I plan on doing a review of every single race after it happens. So if you like this content, if there's something you would like me to do differently or cover differently or spend more time on, please let me